Hello, you wonderful warriors of Whiskey-dom. Ooh, that was almost like an alternative malt moment there, wasn't it? Welcome back to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. And it's another Scotch whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice, and another Speyside distillery, Glencadam 15. I've reviewed a couple of Glencadams in the past, and I'm going to tell you straight away that they can't do an awful lot wrong, in my opinion. I'm coming straight out with that. Most enthusiasts, I would suggest, would agree with that. This one, 46%, non-chill filter, no colour added, ex-bourbon cask, 15 years. Let's go, shall we? You know, instantly clean, sweet, but sweet malt, really soft, fruity flavours. It's fresh, it's unsurprising, and I don't mean to sound disparaging when I say unsurprising, because basically what I said almost at the start, Glencadam, I've come to expect nothing but brilliance from them almost, which I suppose, you know, it's maybe then I'm setting them up a bit up there in that bar still, but look, they're one of those distilleries, very affordable, but very, very high quality whiskey, in my opinion. Well, sure, that's all we're asking, isn't it, really? Inexpensive, but good quality. Glencadam definitely ticked that box. It's fresh, stone fruit once again. There's peach notes here. There's some slightly appley notes, some slight citrusy notes, but it's all for the amount of fruit that's packed into this. And then that ex-bourbon cask, yes, there's the hints of vanilla, the hints of caramel, but so fresh, so clean, so fruity. Once again, beautifully clean, fresh, sweet and sour arrival. But this is so balanced and so complete. This does everything you could ask of it. I love what these guys are doing. That, you could almost chew that. It's so thick and creamy. Fruity. Once again, stone fruit, peach. Once again, I'd suggest hints of apple and some citrusy notes. This is one of the most complete whiskies on the market for me. What I mean by that when I say complete, it's affordable. It's around about the £70 a bottle mark. Yes, that sounds like a lot, but that 15-year-old age statement on there, the fact that it says on the front of the bottle, non-age stated, natural colour, non-age stated, non-chill filtered, natural colour, ball to 46%. This is integrity through and through. And it just performs on every level. The nose is fantastic. The palate's fantastic. Didn't mention the finish yet. The finish is long. There's just enough hint of white pepper going on there to give it a bit of spice, but all that creamy fruitiness is hanging around at the same time. This is hard to whack. It really is. Get it. My advice to you, if you're experienced in whiskey, if you're new to whiskey, either or, try Glencadam as soon as you can if you haven't done so yet. If you've, as I said, if you're already experienced in it, you'll know Glencadam. Buy more. I love this stuff. I really do. As I said, they can't do an awful lot wrong, in my opinion. Add a drop of water to this. It gets more creamy. It gets more fruity on the nose. The palate, it softens off a little. To me, it was better without water on the palate, but then the finish improved a little with a drop of water. So, very, very hard to beat. Very hard to beat. I would highly recommend. I will replace. So if it's that good, what do I recommend as an alternative? I could, I suppose, maybe fire out a couple of it's sort of reminding me a bit along that sort of Loch Lomond side of things a wee bit at times. But the one I actually am going to suggest to you is this. You don't get, to me, a better, thicker palate for, once again, for the value for money, for the price than Craigellachie 13-year-old. Love the stuff. Absolutely love the stuff. Loved it from the first time I tried it. Worm tubs. Worm tubs in your condensing adds a layer of filth and thickness and dirt to your whiskey that, you know, even when sometimes bottled at a lower ABV, Glencairn is a good example, you can still, I mean, I remember when I reviewed a Glencairn not that long ago, it slipped my mind that Glencairn was actually a worm tub using distillery until I tasted the whiskey again. It was a long time since I'd had it. As soon as I tasted it, you just knew there was more going on. There was more heft, there was more depth, there was more dirt, there was more filth, there was more, and that's a 40%. That was a 40%er, I believe. But using worm tubs for condensing, just slow condensing, just brings that extra layer of heft, in my opinion. So if you've had the Glencadam 15, I would imagine you've probably had Craigellachie 13. If you've only had maybe the likes of the Glencadam 10-year-old, then, I mean, check out Craigellachie, and especially the 13. So there, this is a bit short, this is a bit sweet. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes when the whiskey's this good, as this one is, you just wrap it up quickly. So listen, thank you for joining me. Thank you very much to my patrons. Should anybody wish to show the channel a little more support, join that group. The details are in the video description below. I'll be back the next time with something a little different. Until then, look after yourselves. Here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.